I'm smiling because there are people, the trolls just want me to be upset, and it just makes me more determined to just keep going and not stop. Ian Broadhurst was a moderator that Dan from Police Abusing Powers got me. And I think he's perhaps a bit bitter because I didn't respond to him or ring him. But there were several people who could have shared my mobile number. Because unfortunately, just because I haven't published my mobile number, just because it's not online, there are people from agencies who failed me, who have shared it, like this woman from the 77 Brigade, allegedly from that group, which is, I think it's a Masonic spin-off of something. It's all darkness, but yes, in Ephesians says, we're not to take part in the fruitless deeds, but rather expose them, these fruitless evil deeds. Yeah. But I just think it's interesting that it's interesting how I like the psychology of these trolls. I find it really interesting that they've got nothing better to do but to attack me. And, oh, you keep showing your brave BRIONY battles on. I've got loads of mentions of me in the Echo. Yeah, I expect maybe just like this Scott, you were ringing up the House of Commons saying, being abusive, like Scott, who, this other troll, who made out he was supporting me from Police Abusing Powers. Because this Dan from Police Abusing Powers and Tina Che from the Independent Advice Network, and yes, I will keep saying it. I won't shut up. In fact, actually, it pushes me to keep on and on and on. And if you don't like it, there's a red button, yeah, and it's called subscribe. You just click on it, unsubscribe. If you don't like hearing what I say, just disappear. But you're obviously obsessed because you like ringing the police at 3 a.m. They come round at the drop of a hat. But me, I'm being attacked in my accommodation by police protected criminals on tags. They won't come round. Isn't that interesting? So, yes, I've got loads of newspaper articles of me, Ian Broadhurst, and I'm going to keep showing this one because I'm so glad I have it to hand, Brave BRIANY Battles On, because you are just proving that. I've been up to BEACHY, head suicidal, soaked through to the skin. I have attempted suicide several times in this lady's home. This lady who lives in Nigeria, I've never met her. My partner was arrested. Council not doing anything. Tina Che from the Independent Advice Network not doing anything. You must be very bitter. You're actually... Who the hell do you think you are? Who the hell do you... Dan from Police Abusing Powers got you, Ian Broadhurst, to be a moderator on my channel. That's why I don't use the live chat anymore, because I've been exposing corruption. And you're now attacking me because I'm keep showing a Brave BRIANY Battles On newspaper article about me on my own channel. And it's making you angry. Oh, I was mentioned in the local Echo. Yeah, I've been mentioned fraudulently. I was mentioned in Woman's Magazine as a baby. My mother had loads of newspaper cuttings and magazine cuttings. So what? So what's your point? This has just never been more prominent in my life with what I'm having to deal with. And the fact that it's a testament to me now. It makes more sense now than it did 20 odd years ago. But the fact that that disgusting comment that you made, that troll comment where you said something about I'm being disgusting to my what I'm doing is disgusting to my mother's memory. You didn't know my mother. Your mum died 13 years ago. Get over it. You're that stupid and that ignorant. There are many, many thousands, millions of people out there who quietly will never, ever get over the death of a loved one. There's no be-all, fits-all. Everyone is different. God, even that decent police officer that arrested my partner said that. They're not all idiots. But, yeah, he was the only decent one I've met. Yeah. My mother cried for me. My mother and I had a unique bond, a unique attachment. Now, if you don't know what that is, you don't know what that is. But I'm documenting this. We had something special. She cried for me and apologized for her demise. She said, I'm so sorry. She said to me with tears in her eyes, I'm so sorry. She didn't have long to live. We were extremely, extremely close. But all of the, people like you, that you're like parasites. There's no shortage of you. There's so many out there. And that's why I prefer to be on my own. That's why I like my own company. I don't like to be around people. And yes, and I will keep on and on and on showing this. I was bullied when I did care work with the elderly. I took an overdose of antidepressants, didn't even tell my mother about it, but she called in sick for me. I sicked them up because of the trauma and the generational abuses, curses previously, because that's what happens. It's generational. And yeah, I will keep showing this article. I will keep on and on and on, because there might be someone new who comes along who's actually got common sense and a little bit of something between their ears. And those are the people I'm looking for. Those are the people. And as long as I'm still alive, I shall keep searching and I shall keep speaking out. And I shall be one of the set apart ones. Yeah. Because it's not about, it's about telling it how it is. This battle has never been, I've never worked harder for the trolls who say, oh, get a job. I've never worked harder in my life than when I've been on severe disability premium, funding hotels with thousands of pounds of severe disability back pay, whilst you taxpayers are paying 3 million per day to put up illegal immigrants, and your own people are dying on the streets. I've never worked harder than when I've been on severe disability. And that's something that Tina Chave was meant to help me with. But she has turned out to be a fraud, just like Dan from Police Abusing Powers and his bully trolls. So none of you are genuine. I gave you a chance. I thought a prayer had been answered. I thought Dan from Police Abusing Powers has got this wonderful woman, Tina Chave, to help me. But no. It's interesting, isn't it? Because I actually emailed her this picture. And all of a sudden, you're all behaving like children when you're grown adults. I mean, some of you must be grandparents. I just, but But yes, so that's my response to Ian Broadhurst. Yeah, I've got loads of there are loads of my mother was in the paper over loads of things. I've been in the paper over other things as well. And I had a front page headline saying my daughter bullied so much. It's still in the room at the property, saying my daughter was nearly driven to suicide by school bullies. So, yeah, so what? But this is the one that's prominent. It's what it says. It's what it's about. In comparison, it's a contrast from then till now. So what's your point? You really reek of just bitterness. Maybe you didn't have a bond with your mother. Maybe you didn't have that. Well, I did. And that's probably why I haven't ended up lying in a ditch or on drugs or an alcoholic. But I know that there are a lot of people watching my live streams who are less fortunate, and they're bitter and they're jealous and they don't like the fact that I'm talking about my accommodation that I'm keeping away from for my safety, because the criminals are the ones who are protected. So, you know, Tina Chave has 40 years of working with ex-offenders, but she offered me an awful lot of help. And I will keep saying it. And if you don't like it, you can stick it. And that's me being polite. Anyway, I feel, you know, thanks very much anyway. It's just as well that I didn't, you know, you wanted to ring me, you wanted me to answer your phone call and ring you. Well, I'm just as well I didn't, Ian Broadhurst. It's just as well I didn't, because you've turned out to be quite a nasty piece of work. But, you know, I don't need to do what the Bible is telling us to do, because you're doing it for yourself. You're exposing yourselves. Thank you.